What's up, guys? It's Ninja on a Ninja. What's up, guys? This is Ninja on a Ninja. And today, I just want to let you know this is live and recorded at the same time. And the reason why is because I upload to two sources, but only one source I can do live. So that's that. Um, Now we'll go and grab this and put this here. And this is the video at hand. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So this is the surprising science of alpha males. Franz de Waal, whale, 2.3 million views 7 years ago. Basically, I feel this is important to bring up today because, first off, I'm alpha male. So I know what an alpha male is and what it consists of and what it tries to be, and I'm an authentic alpha male. And I say authentic because of a previous video I watched that I thought I recorded a video for, but apparently it's gone. I might have to redo it. We'll see. But anyways, yeah. So that's the video. Why is it off center? That's weird. Okay. So previous video, they mentioned authentic. They have no idea what the fuck authentic is. I have to basically square out, to call it out, square it out to make you guys realize because I am the real deal. I'm surprised I made it. I should be dead, but I'm not. And so, anyways, and I need a recoil. By the way, my fucking throat hurts.
Well, I have known many alpha males in my life, chimpanzee alpha males. And I'm going to talk about what.
So he's known chimps. I've known people. Okay, or so they like to pretend to be. They call it themselves. Um, so real quick, people, because I call myself an alpha male, and people always give me shit for doing it, and they're not wrong, right? Most people, when they say that they're the alpha male, are full of shit, right? Most of the time, that is the case. That is true. You are right to call them out and say that they're lying or they're full of shit, blah blah. It's different when I do it. The reason I do it is because you guys forgot, or don't know, or you're confused, or whatever. So I just got to clarify, right? Because you overlooked me, because you forgot. So I'm just bringing it back, like this guy probably is, but he does it through the animal kingdom. I did it in the human kingdom. That's the difference. Okay.
What an alpha male is, and because I think we can learn a lot from our close relatives, where we.
For the record, you'll notice real quick, I'm alpha. Has nothing to do with ego. You'll notice my camera is tiny. Compared to his, it's tiny. You know why? Because I'm not insecure. I'm not pathetic. I know I'm alpha. I'm more alpha than he is. But I don't mind. Go ahead. Because I can take that microphone from him in an instant if I wanted. But I don't want to. That's how alpha works. I don't need to take it. I don't want it. I can, if I wanted it, I could take it. I have no inclination to do so. But again, I gotta call it out because you guys forgot. So, anyways,
We have alpha males. And as an example, I want to give you Amos, a male that I knew, who was a young male, and he was alpha male, was very popular, but he got
popularity has nothing to do with alpha male.
sick. And he was alpha male, was very popular, but he got sick. And he lost his position because, you know, chimpanzee males, they can spot from a mile away if you're weak, and they went for him.
I watched a little bit, so I know what he's gonna, or what he says. He says that he got sick and lost his position as alpha. No, he didn't, and you'll see what I mean in a moment.
And he lost his position, and then he got sicker and sicker, until at some point we had to isolate him. The group lived on a grassy island, and we had to isolate him in a cage. But we cracked open the cage so that the rest of the chimps still had access to him. And what happened was most touching. Other chimps would bring food to him. They would bring wood wool to him, which is the thing that they use to sleep in, build nests out of. And females would put the wood wool behind his back. He was leaning heavily against the wall. And the way we do with pillows to patients in a hospital, they were putting that stuff behind his back. And I thought,
that's what I mean. If he lost his position, they wouldn't be doing that. He still had his position. They still respected him. That's it. He may not be the leader as far as I'm actively leading, but he is still the leader in that we are doing stuff to make sure he lives and to take care of him because he took care of us.
this is the way to.
That's why in Mexico, that's why families will have a home full of members of the family because they do family correctly. Like KFC does chicken, Mexicans do family. They're tight knit. They hold it together as it should be. That's why you're seeing that in the monkeys because they do it right. But in America, they wanted to split the family apart and create division because it's easier to pick them apart when they fall apart. Divided, they fall. So they divided the families so that they never amounted to anything. That's kind of why they're trying to close the border off because the borders are like our way to stay connected to reality, and they want to disconnect that. They want you to stay divided. They don't want you to see that the rest of the world's connected. Like, why are you divided? Why are you broken apart? Why is this blah blah? The outside world is what's keeping us strong, and our we're like in the middle of reflection basically, and we're becoming aware of it. But anyways, and again, that's why I'm saying I'm alpha, though I too will discourage most people from doing it. I'm doing it because you forgot what it is or what it looks like. So anyways, continue.
Go for an alpha male. He was loved and respected, and everyone was taking care of him. And this is not always how it goes, because
he's the alpha.
Some males don't.
He never lost his spot, his position.
End so well when they lose their position. So
no, when they lose their position, they really lose their position. He didn't lose his position.
Amos was an example of a male who was liked as a leader. And I think the term alpha male, if you look it up on the internet, you will find all these business books that tell you how to be an alpha male.
From America, because they need you to stay divided so that they can continue to buy yachts with your money, but buy it for themselves. You know what
they mean is how to beat up others and beat them over the head and let them know that
right.
you're a boss and
right.
And don't mess with me and so on. And basically an alpha male for them is a bully.
Right. And they want that conflation. This is, not yet, but basically this is a conflation that they want because divided they fall. You will never start an empire if you fight with your father, right? But if you're best friends with your father, you might actually start something You might actually start a business, and then he will be the manager, CEO, and you start a family line. But as long as you're divided, as long as you fight, as long as you have quarrels, this will never happen. I'm wise. I know.
And I really don't like that kind of description because I'm actually partly responsible for the term alpha male because I wrote the book Chimpanzee Politics, which was recommended by Newt Gingrich to freshman congressmen. I don't know what good it did, but he recommended that book to them. And after that, the term alpha male became very popular. But I think it is used in a miscast.
I know how it feels because I am the reason why my favorite champion, Rengar, was nerfed. Um, Also, I know why champion named Yorick was nerfed. I know why. And fortunately, he's an idiot, much like I was. Um, and he didn't do it for fame and fortune or for glory. He did it just for fun, as you do. And this is kind of what it is. Um, and how it comes to be and why we need to be free to be able to exist, because this is how you find out about greatness, is you let kids explore and have fun, right? But we want to baby proof the house and we wonder why innovation stopped, innovation died. Well, it's because you have made it where the kid can no longer play with an egg. How can he explore? How can he see the world? How can he imagine? How can he dream? You baby proof the house. That means education proof, essentially.
Characterization. It's used in a very
Or intelligence proof, or imagination proof.
superficial way that doesn't relate to what a real alpha male is. And so that's, I'm here to explain.
Wait, what?
And after that, the term alpha male became very popular. But I think it is used in a mischaracterization. It's used in a very superficial way that doesn't relate to what a real alpha male is.
True,
and so
true,
that's, I'm here to explain what that is. The term
And I'm here to back you up. Go ahead.
itself goes back.
Again, I'm the ultimate ride along. If you do it right, I'll be right there with you, and I'll be like, hell yes, he's right 100%. Listen to what he's saying. But if you're wrong, I'm going to call you out. I will call you out. That's how it works.
Actually, much further.
I'm the ultimate ride along, ride or die, fucking wingman, basically. That's what I am.
Goes back to the 40s.
That's what I've always been, right? Unfortunately, you guys are bringing the alpha out of me because no one is good enough and no one is wholesome enough to be daddy. So you're making me be daddy. Even though I ain't daddy, you're making me be daddy. I don't want this spot. I don't want it to be the alpha. I want it to be the ride along. I want to be the bitch in the relationship, according to you stupid idiots, right? That's how I want it, but that's not how you see it, so I have to step up. I have to be that fucking force. It's the same thing with League of Legends. You guys are making me become the villain in order for justice to be served, basically. I have to get you to see what it is so that you stop living it and you realize this is the way, right? And that's how I've always been. Anyways.
And 50s, research on wolves. And basically the definition is very simple.
Real quick, I want to say this is why sellouts and why society doesn't like me. This is why my channel isn't having 1 million followers, because they can't make money off of my image, or because they can't make money off of my message, basically. Everybody else, that's like Emeru, they can sell them out. Whatever his name is, Kif, whatever that fucking idiot, like before he ruined his fucking bullshit, then, so be it. I only know who he is because of some bullshit drama that I have or will get into. I don't remember. But yeah, there's a bunch of shit I could talk about. But anyways.
50s, research on wolves. And basically the definition is very simple. The highest ranking male is the alpha male. The highest ranking female is the alpha female.
It depends. In the nature, yes, but in a developed society, no. You may be the boss, but you aren't the alpha male. You know what I mean? That's what it means. Um, and so what he's saying right now, that's why society's fucked up. It's because everyone's a Trump is the alpha male. No, he's not. Right? No, he's not. He's just the boss. He isn't the alpha. He's just the boss. You want the alpha to be the boss, but in his case, he's just the boss.
Very simple. The highest ranking male is the alpha male.
In nature.
The highest ranking female is the alpha female.
In nature.
Every primate group has one alpha male, one alpha female.
In nature.
Not more than that. There's
in nature.
Only one. And
in nature.
I will explain how that goes. So, first the body language. What you see here is two male chimpanzees who are the same size. But one is walking upright, has his hair up, has a big rock in his hand, and he's the alpha male. The other male is pant-grunting to him, is being submissive.
So he's the alpha male because he has a rock in his hand. So you seem to be confused because this is basically like, I have a Mustang, you don't. Right? That's why society got fucked up. So you, sir, are wrong. This isn't true. He isn't the alpha male. He's just the leader of the pack. And as I told you, you want the alpha to be leader, but the leader isn't always the alpha. Anyways, continue.
To him and bowing for him. And that is a sort of ritual they need to go through many times a day in order to have a stable relationship.
No, not really. No. Maybe this is why he is on TEDx, because he's helping what's it called, sell the message, the wrong message that's keeping the world fucked up.
I'll show you a video from the field. What you will see here is a female pant grunting to an alpha male, and you will see how that goes. The male is approaching. She grunts at him. He has all his hair up, and he displays. I'm actually standing far too close. A chimpanzee is far stronger than I am, and this was not very prudent, this particular video. So what you saw him do is he was lifting himself up and standing on two legs and putting his arms out. That's called the bipedal swagger. It's a very common posture in high-ranking males.
It's a posture trying to seek this is basically when I say I'm the alpha, this is what you guys see me as, right? But you don't realize I'm saying it because you don't know. I'm not saying it because I want you to think I am. I'm saying it because I am and you're too stupid to realize it. You see the difference? Otherwise, I don't care. I just chill. I don't care, but you don't know. You don't recognize because you've been brought up wrong. Like America is going to topple over and collapse as long as you guys believe in this bullshit.
And it's very recognizable because humans do this kind of stuff.
Exactly. And they're Democrats. And oh, be a man, be a man. That's the whole fucking message. That's the whole criteria of what they're doing. Be a man, be a man. It's not manly, it's not manly. Be a man, be a man. That's their whole fucking game. But as the alpha, all you need to do is push the button and you've been nuked. And today, because that's how we live today, through democracy, through industry, through education, and because we've been industrialized, we ain't nature. But people want nature to rule because they're stupid. And they don't realize it's not you who makes you the boss. It's your boss. You're the boss. That makes you the boss. Not because you're the alpha, because you're the boss. You understand? That's why I told you. In nature, yes, the alpha is the head in charge or should be blah, blah, blah. But in society, who's in charge is just who is in charge. And that's what has ruled for years.
Humans do this all the time. And, and what I really like about this particular picture is the two old guys to the side. This is very...
They're probably the real leaders. They're telling him what to do, and he's doing it because he's dumb. And you guys eat it up because you're dumb. This is the MAGA crowd. They eat this shit up. They love it. They think it's, oh, it's real, it's real, it's real. But no, it's not. If you really took time to really learn, you would realize, oh, you're right. He isn't the alpha. He's just the boss. That's all he is. He is the alpha. You think he's the alpha because you're stupid, but he's just the boss. The alpha is actually, if I had to guess, it'd probably be the guy over here on the right. If anything, it's him. And I say that because, first off, look at the stance. He is kind of like, no, don't look at me, I'm closed. He is openly trying to start shit. That's pathetic, that's petty, that's beta male. And he's just like, whatever. Whatever. I don't care. And that's probably why he is the alpha. Or he's doing that as a tool to make you, the smart people, to disregard him. And in reality, he's the alpha, but he's doing that to throw you off, right? But overall, I would say he, in the middle, is the weakest of the three. But anyways, continue.
Very chimpanzee. In chimpanzees, we have usually old males who are over the hill who can see.
At first, and they would see, but they would challenge this, and then he would back down. And then, because of these postures, then the monkey, Putin, would take over. Because he realized you're a bitch, and you're trying to pretend to be a bitch because you're too much of a bitch to be the man, and you don't care, and you probably could take me, but I'm going to advance on you because because you don't care, and I'm smelling weakness, and you can't defend yourself, and that's what happened to me in society, because I didn't know that people did this. I had to learn that for myself. My mother kept me secluded from this factor of life, about the fact that there could be an alpha or somebody else that will try to take what's yours. I didn't know that this existed and that you had to fight for what was yours, or to be like, no, back off, and to kind of like, just to get him to leave you alone. I didn't know this was a thing for a long time, but anyways, I could get into it for a while if you want, but...
Chimpanzees, we have usually old males who are over the hill, who cannot be alpha male themselves anymore.
Nope, that's a lie. Because again, in society, you can be the alpha male until you die, because the cap is also a limiter, meaning no one can pass you up, right? You are at the top. You can never be anything greater, but it's okay because there never can be anything greater than you. That's why I keep saying there's a difference. In nature, no. In society, sure.
But they start playing games and forming coalitions and behind the backs of others, and they become extremely influential. And you may actually have old males who are more influential than the alpha male himself.
Right.
Just as an example, the 3 males that I used to work with most at the Dutch Zoo long ago, where I worked, the middle male here is a 17-year-old alpha male. The male who is grooming on the side is twice as old, and this old male has made him the leader. So you can imagine that that old male has an enormous amount of power because he has made the alpha male alpha male. The male on the right is individually the strongest male. He's individually, in captivity you can test that out and you can know that this male has no trouble with either one, he has only trouble with the combination of the two. And so the coalition formation that goes on in chimpanzee society.
In nature, on one, yes. In society, where it's civilized, or what sort of looking for? Basically, it's arranged no, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what you're seeing. Those two exist as a unit. He can't he can't defeat that as a unit, but divided they fall, basically. So he needs to split you up, much like he wants to split up the family and make the son fight with the dad, so that the dad or the son ends up in prison and the house is all fucked up, or blah blah blah. Because that's how it works. That's just what they do. So again, divided they fall, and blah blah blah. That monkey that is not in charge because of the two would be in charge if the two were ones.
Makes it much more complex than you think. It means, for example, that the smallest male in a group can be the alpha male. You don't need to be the biggest and strongest male.
Right.
The smallest male, if he has the right friends and keeps them happy, or he has female support, he can be the alpha female.
Right. Or if he has the Mustang.
The alpha male. So the coalition.
Or if he has the wheel or the whip or the fire or he's the boss or he's a manager or he's a quarterback, right? That's the alpha male. That's why they get laid. But some people will try to use that and try to act like, because I am that, I am alpha. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There are people that are bitches, but they will use the Mustang because girls see that as a power thing. But in reality, it's his dad's Mustang. It's not his Mustang. But they see, oh, he has a Mustang, I want to fuck him. And they fuck him, and they ruin their lives because they fucked a beta. And they don't realize it. And they've been doing this for a long time. The real alpha is the guy in the back that you don't know about because his mom died when he was a kid. And so they grew up poor. And he would have a Mustang too. But instead he has a motorcycle because that was all he can purchase. Because his mom or his dad died or whatever, right? And so you follow this alpha and then you ruin your life. And then by the time you get to this alpha, that alpha doesn't want you anymore. Because you fucking ruined your life. You've been fucked to hell and back. You're blown out, as they call it. That's why relationships don't work, by the way, these days. Because why the fuck would I want you if you're a blown out hoe? If you're a slut and you've been fucked to kingdom come, I don't want you anymore. Why would anybody want you? The fun with you is gone. It's dead. That cherry has been picked. There's nothing there for me, so I don't want it. I'd rather die alone than carry some fucking useless hoe, right? That's why guys are single and girls are single, because most alphas don't want you, and most guys end up dating a girl that's 10 years younger because every other girl is a slut. But this girl hasn't had a chance to be a slut yet, so he gets with her, marries her, knocks her up, has a baby. Boom. And she's too young for it. So it's, yeah.
System makes everything complex. And I'm always waiting here in the US for...
Oh, shit. I've almost been talking for 30 minutes, so a little bit longer.
The primaries, the end of the primaries, because that's a moment where you need to demonstrate unity. Now, let me first show you how the unity is shown in chimpanzees. What you see here is two males on the left who are standing together. You also see the big canine teeth that they have. And they're standing together and they demonstrate to the rest of the group, we are together.
Okay.
We are a unit. The males
Okay.
on the right are walking together in synchrony. That's another way of demonstrating that you are together. And so demonstrating unity is extremely important in a coalition system. And as I said, in the primary,
But one of them is the alpha.
always I'm waiting for that moment, because then you have two members of the same party who have been fighting with each other, and they need to come together at some moment. And it leads to very awkward situations. People who don't like each other need to embrace each other and stand together. And that's absolutely essential for the unity of the party. And if you don't do that, the party may fall apart. And so if it
Yep.
doesn't go
Yep. And good examples. I approve. But you'll notice Trump, look at his face. He clearly doesn't want to be there. The other ones can fake it, but Trump can't, because Trump's a big baby, which is why he is what he is. Because you can market what he is, but you can't market Bernie Sanders.
well, like in this particular case, then the party is in deep doo-doo, because they have not demonstrated unity. So that's a very important part of the coalition system, and that's something that we share between humans and chimpanzees. Now, how do you become an alpha male? First of all,
Let me answer that question for you. See if you get it right. You don't become the alpha male. Or you don't try to be the alpha male. It just happens. Basically, you don't like strive to be. It's just like, it's kind of like they put the coat on your back. Basically, it's kind of how America works. Essentially, we elect a leader, but the system has been rigged, and that's why Trump is the president. It's because the system is rigged, and they tricked people into thinking Trump is something that he isn't, and that's why they voted for him, or else they wouldn't have voted for him, and that's why they need to find a new Trump, basically. Kind of like how they had Bush. They tricked people into believing in something that wasn't true, right? That's what's going on. That's how it is. That's how they roll. But yeah, that's kind of the point. So I think that's basically that. I think I explained. I might just do the whole thing. We'll see. As long as I have data, I will.
you need to be impressive and intimidating and demonstrate your vigor on occasion and show that you're very strong, and there's all sorts of ways of doing that.
You don't know. You don't. In a society, you do to trick people, but in nature, you don't. Like, that's how you get people to leave you alone, is they see, oh, I can't take him. Or you can fake it, right? And you can fake it until you make it, but it depends.
But other things that you need to do is you need to be generous. So, for example, males who go on a campaign to dethrone the leader, which made them take 2 or 3 months, where they're testing all the coalitions in the group, they also become extremely generous. They share food very easily with everyone. Or they start to tickle the babies of the females. They're
Right.
normally male chimpanzees not particularly interested in infants, but when they're campaigning like that, they get very interested in infants and they tickle them and they try to curry favor with the females.
No. He is expressing the artificial form of it when you're campaigning, but that's kind of what you do in nature when you're trying to get people to like you. It's the same thing. Campaigning is the same thing as just tricking people into liking you. Basically, that's what it is. That's all it is I'm tricking people into liking me. Like, in reality, it's the same thing. But again, because intelligence is how it works, the more we find out, the more there is to find out. The more we learn, the more we realize that there is to learn. Like, every time we open one, two open up. We will never be able to contain life. Life will always escape. We will never contain life. I don't think we will ever contain life. especially as we are now.
So in humans, of course, I'm always intrigued by these men who are candidates and hold babies up like this. This is not particularly something that babies like, but, but since it is a signal to the rest of the world, they need to hold them in the air. And I was really
No,
intrigued.
no, 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 no. See, again, he messed up. Is that holding it in the air is the signal. The signal isn't just I held a baby. The signal is, look, everybody, I'm holding a baby. You see me holding a baby? He's not going like, look at, I'm holding a baby, everybody. I'm holding a baby. Oh, for no reason, I'm still holding the baby, everybody. No, it's, hey, everybody, hey, you in the back, you see I'm holding a baby? That's what it is.
By when we had a female candidate in the last election, the way she held babies was more like this, which is what babies really like. But she, of course, didn't need to send a message that she could hold a baby without dropping it, which was what the man was doing.
No, you're wrong. She was doing it because they looked at her different. A man needs to do that because most of the time, when a guy is doing something, it's like, what? Who? Oh, yeah, I see him. Oh, he's holding a baby. That's why he's holding the baby up. It's because, like, I'm looking at you from afar. But if it's a woman, I'm like, what? A woman? And I get up and I pay attention and I look and I'm more intrigued. And she's holding a baby, even if she's like holding a baby under a shell. I'm like, what are you doing? Whereas the man, like, I don't give a fuck. But for a female, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, you dumbass.
So this is a very common tactic, and male chimpanzees, they spend a lot of time currying favor with all sorts of parties when they are campaigning.
And again, campaigning is the same thing as when you're trying to get people to like you.
Now, what are the privileges and the costs of being an alpha male? The biggest privilege is females.
That comes naturally.
Food is really irrelevant. Male chimpanzees can go a week without food if there's a female in estrus and they're sexually interested in her. Food is secondary to sex.
No, it can be. Not that it is, it can be.
So the male chimpanzees, and we evolutionary biologists, of course, we have an explanation for this, is that sex leads to reproduction, and reproductive success is the measure of evolution. That's how everything evolves. And so if males can enhance their reproductive success,
that is slowly going away. I mean, it isn't necessary, but your code isn't necessary. What I mean by that is we still talk about famous people. Einstein, for example. Einstein. We know about him not because he had sex, but because he was smart. You see what I'm saying? We don't know about him because of his kids or because of what they're doing or whatever. We know about him because he figured something out. That's why Elon, like people like Elon Musk say, "Oh, you gotta do something forever." That's why he launched a car into space. It's because in space it'll never degrade, and forever, whenever you look out, there's a car there. You know what I'm saying? For many years there'll be a car there, right? There's always something, and so I'm telling you is that sex is starting to lose its value, and it's more about not being forgotten. And it reminds me of Futurama. Remember me, remember me. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Just because. Control and yeah. Futurama, remember me. Yep, this is it. Remember me. God damn it. Remember me.
Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me.
But yeah, anyways. Net. Okay.
By being high ranking, you get automatically the ambition to be high ranking in the males. So that's the privilege. The costs, one cost is of course that you need to keep your partners happy. So if you come to power with the support of an old male, you need to let that old male mate with females. If you don't do that, that old male is going to get mad at you and you're going to lose him as a partner. So there's a transaction going on.
It can happen. It won't always happen, but it can happen. In today's society, especially, it can happen because it's a focus. Sex is a focus. As long as sex is a focus, it's a thing that comes up because it's a focus. But if it wasn't a focus, it would come up. But people are focused on it, so that comes up, right? But anyways.
If you become alpha male this way, you need to keep your partners happy. And so that's one of the costs.
You might need to. Not that it will, you might need to.
The second cost is that everyone wants your position. Alpha male position is a very important position, and everyone wants to take it from you. And so you constantly have to...
Alpha male isn't a position, it's a rank. That's what you need to understand. You are ranked the alpha. Everyone wants to be the alpha. Right? Everyone wants to deplatform you, basically. Position makes you think that anyone can fill it, but that isn't true. A rank is you have to achieve a certain status. You understand? That's the difference.
Watch your back. You have to be extremely vigilant. For example, you have to disrupt the coalitions of others, and that's...
No, the artificial bullshit way, yes, this is true. As long as we got each other, reminds me of a song. But anyways, as long as you consider it a role or position, then anyone can fill it, everyone wants it. But if you show it as a rank where only certain people can achieve it, that's different. Like, now people are going to be like, I need to better myself. Whereas when you see it as a position, people are like, I need to remove him from that position so that I can fill it. Right? But if you see it as a rank, suddenly it's not about your position, it's about my rank. You see what I'm saying? It's a state of mind. Your mind, that's why you're being shown around the world and everyone talks about you, but I'm not. Because they need people to be in your state of mind. And they can take advantage of people in your state of mind, but they can't in mine. And that's the difference. And that's why America and the people who are in actual charge of the world, and this is why Grassroots and Bernie Sanders, if you want reality, you need to give me money and attention and donate, because that's how it works. And by the way, I just realized I'm live and I'm not live. What I mean is, I'm live, but I'm not looking at my chat. I'm sorry. If anybody has been coming by, I apologize. I have not been looking or paying attention to anything. I've just been talking. I apologize. There we go.
What male chimpanzees do quite a bit, divide and rule strategies they have. And so that's a very stressful situation, and we actually have data on this. The data comes from the field, from baboons, not chimpanzees in this case, where they did fecal samples on the baboons and they analyzed them for glucocorticoids. And what you see here is a graph where you see that the lower ranking the male baboon is, the higher is his cortisol level in the feces. But the alpha male, as you see, has just as high a level as the lowest ranking males. And so you may think that being alpha
Oh, wait, what?
is cortisol level in lower glucocorticoids. And what you see here is a graph where you see that the lower ranking the male baboon is, the higher is his cortisol level in the feces. But the alpha male, as you see, has just as high a level as the lowest ranking males. And so you may think that being alpha male is...
This is the most stupid shit ever. While you're losing, you're gonna stress. But when loss doesn't exist, then you win. No shit. When you're the alpha male, you don't lose, so you win. So yes, when you're trying to be alpha and you can't be the alpha, you have stress. But when you don't care, you win. That's how it works. That's how it should be. It should be fuck it or I'm the alpha male. There should never be this I want to be the alpha male. I'm trying to replace you, displace you. Only stupid idiots think that way. And that's my point. That's my message. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're artificial. You're synthetic. You're bullshit. You're not real. You're not. You're explaining bullshit. How to lie and how to blah, blah, blah. That's all it is. That's all it is. So, sorry, I'm sidetracked a little bit. But, anyways, again, in this artificial playpen, yes, what he's saying is true. And this is why Hollywood and CEOs of the world and America and the executives behind closed doors, the shadow state, the shadow world, and the people behind closed doors, they need this kind of avenue to exist. They need you to compete. They don't realize you should care or be the alpha male. And then they should just be one and the same. Everyone should be alpha male. No one should care. Even the alpha male shouldn't care. That's how it works. In the perfect world, everyone just exists. But the problem is, that's why racism is a thing. You believe in something that isn't true, right? That's the thing. Only stupid people believe in racism. Race is a lie. They create it just to divide people. That's what it is. It's just a vision. That's all it is.
nice and dandy and is wonderful, but it's actually a very stressful position. And we can demonstrate that physiologically.
And robots, AIs, they like to make the AI or the whatever, like that should be a highlight. I'm too fucking lazy.
Now, what are the obligations? And here, for me, it gets really interesting. And it deviates very much from your typical image of the alpha male. The alpha male has two sorts of obligations. One is to keep the peace in the group. We call that the control role, to control fights in the group. And the second
really.
is to be the most empathic, the consoler-in-chief, basically, of the nation, so to speak. So first of all, keep it...
That's stuff you're making him do, not stuff that he should do. There's a difference. Everyone should keep the peace, but there are people that don't want peace. And in some cliques, again, like it's hard because, again, there's the difference between the nature and there's the difference between culture or society, right? Like, there's the difference between the two. In nature, you need to be, you need to capitalize. What? So my stream was blocked because I need to be at least 16-year old. What the fuck? Yeah, so it's saying I'm not old enough. Stream temporarily blocked because we detect this video also belonging to someone else. Real shit, bro. Thank you. Dude, what the fuck? Your stream is no longer being blocked due to copyright issues. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck was that about? What the fuck? But yeah, thank you, Abel, for that comment. Real shit, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's yeah, that's it.
The peace. This is a male who stops a fight between two females. Two females on the left and the right have been
So again, in nature, yes. In culture, no. In society, no.
screaming and yelling at each other over food, because food is very important for the females. And so he stops the fight between them and stands between them like this. And it's very interesting to me that alpha males, when they do this, they become impartial. They don't support their mom or their best buddy or no. They stop fights and they come up for the underdog in general. And this makes them extremely popular in the group because they
It depends.
provide security
It depends.
for the lowest ranking members of the group.
It depends on the fight.
And so they become impartial, which is an unusual condition for a chimpanzee to be in because they're
It depends on the fight.
usually very fond of their friends and so on. And these alpha males who are good at this, they can be very effective at keeping the peace in the group. And the second thing they do is they show empathy for others. Now, I do an enormous amount of research on empathy, and I don't have time to go into it, but empathy is nowadays a top.
YouTube. Yeah, I'm unfortunately close this. The stream. So I'm gonna stop the streaming portion of this real quick because YouTube keeps blocking it, as if me talking and going over someone else's video isn't like I've been talking for 53 minutes. This video is 11 minutes. This is more than transformative. You're being an asshole, YouTube, and I need to talk to your father or your mother or whoever's in charge because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So anyways, I am recording still, so I will upload this on the recording. Or my recording, I'll upload my recording. So anyways, thank you for watching. Hit that like, hit that follow button. I will post this on my posts. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Don't let the door hit you or they'll split you in peace.